Hello, fellow riders! This is your host, Rusty James. It is Saturday, October 17, 2015, and this is The Ride. Hello, one, hello, all. I thought I'd do something special today. I don't normally do a show on Saturdays, but I had an errand to run and I'm going to be on the road for a little bit of time, so I thought this would be perfect to hang out with you. I hope you're ready to be hung out with. I want you to know I enjoy our times together. I truly do. I look forward to them like I look forward to hanging out with a friend. Now, I don't know if that means I'm somehow schizophrenic or something like that. I have to speak like European if I say that. Schizophrenic. I don't know why. Maybe I'm supposed to be like Freud or something. Who knows? But maybe it's because I like to play a role. And this is my opportunity to play a role. So here I am. So what am I going to do today? I actually didn't get into the Word of God this morning, so I'm going to be off the cuff. Right now I have an empty trailer I'm dragging behind me because I am going to the town where I used to live, about a half hour away, and pick up some more of my stuff. This will be the last trip of picking up my what I refer to as my dirty stuff, my garage stuff. I had a shed out at my land, and I'm kind of looking forward to getting this load because it has a 4x4, kind of a beat up old one. I'm sure I'm going to have to make it run again because I think the mice have taken residence in it, but I've gone through that before, so we'll get it cleaned up and get it running. And so I'm kind of looking forward to getting that back with me. And then I can say sayonara to that land because that will empty my presence there. So, what am I going to do today? What am I going to talk about today? I think I'm going to have an interview. Typically, I'll do an interview on Saturdays. But I don't have anybody here with me except I happen to have in the audience today. He doesn't know I'm going to call him up. I have in the audience today Rusty James from 2014. Stand up and come on down. Give it up for Rusty James 2014. That's right. Yeah, I got a spot right here for you. All right. How you doing? I'm all right. You had no idea I was going to call on you, right? Nope, no idea whatsoever. Well, this is going to be a special interview because I happen to know what your life was like back in 2014. And I'd like to talk about it if it's okay with you. Yeah, it's all right. You don't sound too thrilled. Are you going through some difficult times? You could say so. Well, tell me a little bit about what you're going through. Well, I've been working at the same place for about 12 years now, and been really good at what I do. I feel like I'm really good. I get recognized by my peers, and I sometimes get awards for the work that I do. But more importantly than awards, I really like the people that I work with, and I think that they like me. Well, that sounds great. Seems like that would be a good thing. It is good, but in the last couple years, I've been really getting stressed out. I've been having to work a lot of hours to, make projects come in on time. That's one of the things I like to pride myself with, is getting projects in on time. So that's good. That means that you're, you're looked at as someone who gets the job done. I would think that'd be a good thing. It is. It seems like more and more the projects are higher demand, have a higher demand level than they used to. So you have to work a lot more hours to get it in on time. And I would do that. Okay, so if you've listened to the podcast in the past, you would know that sometimes that kind of situation might put stress on your family. It has. I think my wife noticed it maybe before I even noticed it. Well, that's a good thing, because God created you to be one, and she was sensing something maybe in the spirit and in your countenance or whatever that clued her in. You know, women have this sixth sense about them. You know this, right? Yeah, I do know this. There's probably more than just six. But anyway, I was noticing that, I wouldn't be as home as much. But I figured that I was doing what I was supposed to do. It's not like I wasn't praying anymore. I was seeking the Lord. But this is what I knew to do, and I figured, working hard was the godly thing, the right thing to do. But then you started noticing the issues around your family. Yeah, and also my own health. I was starting to notice that I was getting run down, lack of energy, that kind of thing. How long did this last? It really started about 3 years ago. So you're saying 3 years before the 2014 time frame. Yeah, isn't it 2014? Well, no, not really. I've pulled you from the past so I could interview you. So you're saying that this is 2000 what? Well, it's 2015. Who are you? Well, I'm you. You seem to be in pretty good mood. I am in a great mood. I am in a good mood. Do you know why I'm in a good mood? No, but I would really like to know, because I'd like to be in that mood right now. I'll tell you the reason why I'm in this good mood. And it goes deeper than just my emotions and my feelings. There is a deeper level of appreciation of what God has done in my life than ever before. I'm really excited to hear you say that. Yeah, and the reason I feel this way is because now I can see, having gone through something, the thing that you're going through right now, having gone through that thing, I have seen God's hand in it every step of the way. Even when I didn't think He was there. So tell me what you know. Okay, hold on a minute. I'm interviewing you. You're not interviewing me. If people want to know that story, they can be listening to the podcast, and they get glimpses of that revelation if they check out the podcast. Okay, what's the podcast again? It's called The Ride, and it started in 2015. So you're going to have to wait until later to listen to it. Okay, wait a minute. You're doing the ride, and you're me. That's right. So actually, you don't have to really wait. You just have to let time pass until you start doing it, and then you'll know what it's about, when you start doing it. That's called a time paradox, my friend. Can I call you friend? I know you're me in 2014. I want to call you friend. Can I do that? Yeah, you can do that. I guess you can do that because you're telling me that I'm going to get through this thing. You absolutely are going to get through this thing. If I give you a little bit of insight as to how best to get through this thing you're in the middle of, Rusty James 2014, the insight I want to give you is, no matter how dark your day seems, you need to know that God is there with you. Sometimes it's very, very hard. It's been very hard at times to believe He's anywhere near me. I know that. I remember that. And I want you to understand that it's not just some kind of mental game that you're pretending that everything is okay. Because we know everything is not okay. right? You know everything is not okay right now with your current situation. That is correct. It is not okay. But you need to remember that God is there for you. God hasn't forgotten you. God has a plan for you. And sometimes the water you're in has got to get to a boil for you to move. And can I tell you something? I'm going to give you a little insight again. Not only do you have to trust the Lord is with you the whole time, but sometimes you need to be not afraid to make a move. You know the story about the frog in the water? No, tell me about it. I happen to know in your case, this applies. Maybe that doesn't apply in everybody's case, but in your case, this applies. Here we go. A frog, if put into boiling water, he will want to get out right now. Jump out. Get out of that uncomfortable situation. Well, I am in an uncomfortable situation. Yes, I know. But you weren't just dropped into that uncomfortable situation. Otherwise, you'd probably want to jump out right now and find something that aligns with who you are. Okay, I'm listening. Well, what happened for you is that you were in this water and it was just normal water and you were fine hanging out in that water. And the heat got turned up slowly but surely. And you kind of sucked it up and you did the right thing and you thought it was the right thing and you kept on doing your work and nose to the grindstone and all that stuff. And you failed to see that the heat was getting turned up until you were simmering. So you're saying I'm kind of simmering right now in 2014? I actually think that you're more than simmering. I think that you maybe are into a pre-major boil. So what are you telling me to do? Well, I'm not going to tell you to do anything because that would destroy the fabric of space-time, and I can't be doing that. I can give you encouragement where you're at, and I'll let God tell you what your future is in the proper timing. But I can't break the space-time continuum. You get that, right? Okay, first of all, you brought me into the future, so I would say that you've probably broken a whole bunch of rules. Okay, yeah, but I needed an interview today, and I didn't have somebody sitting next to me, so you're going to have to just play along. All right. So you're telling me that in the life I'm leading right now in 2014, I'm in a pre-boil. Yes, I'm telling you that. Well, how do I know when I'm supposed to jump out or if I'm just supposed to suck it up and do my work? Because, you know, I've been brought up with a work ethic that tells me I should just do the right thing. I know. It's a hard decision to make. And that's why you really need to be in prayer. Well, I have been in prayer. My wife and I have been praying, it seems like every day, it seems like. And we're not hearing anything. Well, let me give you one more insight, because it's something that you're about to learn. I remember right before things started to change, you came to a realization about something, and you stopped being mad at God. Whoa, wait a minute, I'm not mad at God. Well, you kind of are. You maybe don't fully know it. You were mad at your situation, and because of that, you were kind of mad at God, because He didn't reveal the solution yet. Okay, maybe I can admit some of that. Well, I happen to know the truth, so I'm just going to leave it there. Okay, so maybe I was mad at God, and I thought that He was supposed to take care of me. He is taking care of you, but the thing you need to know, this is the insight. Before He can bring you to that next thing, you needed to come to a realization that He was going to take care of you. Okay, so because I was mad at God, there was a part of me that wasn't trusting Him. I guess I can see that now. Yes, and the thing is, if you would believe that He's got a good future for you, a good hope for you, and that you can rest in the peace that He provides you in the day you're in right now in 2014, I believe you'll start to see some things, because you'll start to see things with less of a clouded mind, because right now your mind is clouded. You're in a whirlwind of boiling water with the threat of job loss. Yeah, that's right. That's the new thing, is that I've got that going on. It's over my head. Okay, well, the thing is, that could be debilitating, and I know that. And I happen to know that you, right now, you feel debilitated. You feel like you don't even know what way is up. Man, it's like you know me. I guess you do know me. That's right, because I'm you, except I'm in the future. In your future. And don't you know, things are going to turn out. But you got to trust in the Lord and rest in His provision of today for you. When's the last time you sat and thought about what God has given you so far? It's been a while. Well, you need to be doing that, because when you start recognizing what He has already provided you in the past and the things He's gotten you through, that will help you in your current situation. I know He's taken good care of me in the past. See, isn't it kind of silly that the environment that you find yourself in right now in 2014 causes you to mistrust or distrust the very one who got you to 2014? And you know He's gotten you through some things. I know He has. This is helping, actually. I'll tell you right now, the worst of it is yet to come. But when you go through the worst of it, are you serious? It's going to get worse than this? Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to get worse than this right now. But because I've had this talk with you, I really believe that you're going to make it through okay. In fact, I kind of know it. I've got a little bit of an insight that you're going to make it through. I guess talking with you is helping me see that there is hope. I guess maybe if I think about how things could be done in the future, I don't have to worry so much, because I know God's with me in the future. You're getting it. You're getting it. God is definitely in your future. Now, the thing that you and your wife need to be praying about and recognizing is that during this period of time that is very painful, I know, I've been there, during this time of real seeking and trying to figure out what your future holds, and I know pretty soon you're going to be looking at job opportunities in other cities, places that you didn't even think you'd consider. Really? Yes, really. In this time, you're going to need to ask the Lord to give you some insight, and I'm going to give you a little bit of insight right now. Be listening for this, because He is going to tell you during this period of transition. And this whole thing is a transitional period. Even though you might not see a change yet, He's preparing your heart for a transition. During this period of transition, the reason it's taking the time it's taking is because you aren't quite prepared to grab a hold of that next step. And so what your prayer ought to be right now, and since you are married and you and your wife are one, you need to be doing this together. This is not a one-man thing. You need to be doing this together. And I know that some people have a hard time praying with their spouse. It's not natural. I'm going to tell you right now, as Christian couple, you need to do that. You need to do that. It breaks down pride is what it does. And pride is going to make you fall. Proverbs 17, I think. If you can get past your pride and know that you don't have all the answers, and in that period of prayer, you and your spouse will come to realize where you guys are trusting in the Lord and where you guys are trusting in yourself. And I think the Lord puts people together in a Christian home like this so that you can remind each other that you need to be depending on the Lord in certain areas that maybe you're not yet. And I think that's what's going on with you. So this is what I recommend. When you're in prayer with the Lord and with your spouse, you ask the Lord what it is you need to be doing to prepare you for the next step. If you do that, He will show you. And I believe that what's going to happen is that as you do that and as you show yourself dependent on the Lord, more and more He's going to realize that you're ready. See how that works? Yeah, I do. I think it might be a little hard for us to do it because we're not used to praying together all the time like that. Well, that's my encouragement to you. It's a maturity thing. Let yourself mature into that thing. Okay. I'm kind of encouraged because I know that you've made it through to the other side. I certainly have, and it has changed my life. You need to have this kind of hope. Can you have this kind of hope that the Lord is going to change things for you? Yes, I can. Then you're going to make it. You're going to make it to the other side of this valley or hurdle, however you want to look at it. I did tell you it's going to get worse before it gets better, didn't I? Yeah, you did. I'm not so sure I like hearing that part. It doesn't matter. No matter what happens, God is with you. So the worst the world can throw at you, listen to me, the worst the world can throw at you is mere pebbles to the rock of God who is there for you. You need to believe that God has got your back. I believe it. I believe it. Okay, so if you believe it and you're saying that with your mouth, I want you to believe it in your heart, and you and your wife work together and you start believing for this breakthrough that I know is going to happen for you. We'll do it. I know you will. I know you will. I know you will make it. You know, I haven't told you everything that I could about what's going to happen. But can I tell you that basically your wildest dreams are about to come to fruition? You mean God is testing us in this? I don't want to say God is testing you necessarily, like a lot of people think that God is just throwing harsh things at people to see if they can make it. God already knows the future. He knows if you can make it or not. I think God takes situations people find themselves in through just environmental reasons, the fact that there's sin in the world, the fact that people make bad decisions and find themselves in a weird spot. I think he just takes whatever our enemy wants to dish out and turns it around for good. And can I tell you one more insight? You could not have gotten where I am today without God and without this trouble you find yourself in right now. Couldn't have done it. And what makes me so encouraged for you being on the backside of this thing is I have a whole new view of your future. I have a whole new view of your future. It's like my eyes have been opened and an incredible clearing has taken place. Now I know there'll be bad days because the Word of God says there'll be bad days and issues and enemies that we have to face and new challenges. But I can tell you, this thing that you just went through or are about to go through is going to set your heart on such a trajectory that you would not have known you could have been on that trajectory unless you'd gone through that thing. I know it's the thing that's painful. It is painful. I'm having a hard time sleeping at night. I know. What you need to do is just trust the Lord. Do the right thing through this thing, okay? Make sure that you are treating people right. Even though it seems like people are mistreating you, treat people right. I know that you have a person in your work life that's really hard to love. My encouragement to you is you love them and you pray for them right every day. And you do the best work that you've ever done. And don't fear when the pebbles of the world are being thrown at you, because you're with the rock. And the rock is fixed and unmovable and has got your back. You got that? I do. You've encouraged me so much, I think I'm going to pray with my wife in a minute. I think that's a great idea. You keep doing that every day, 3 times a day, 4 times a day, whatever, until you break through. Because I can tell you, no matter who you are, if you're going through something like this, you're going to break through. Rusty, I want to thank you for coming from the past and joining me on this interview. I hope this has encouraged you. I hope it's encouraged my studio audience to trust the Lord even when you're in the middle of a hardship. You might not understand what the reasons are that you're going through it. And maybe there isn't a major reason, but I know that God can take whatever situation you're in and turn it around as long as you're trusting in Him. He is dependable. He is trustworthy. And He will never, ever leave you. That's all I'm going to say today. I want to encourage all my listeners to stay in the Word of God and to stay in peace and to pray for those who persecute them. And when you're in the middle of your valley, know that the Lord is on the other side. But not only that, He is with you now in the midst of the valley, and He will get you to the other side, and you will see things with a whole new perspective when you just pass that next ridge, because the world is out there and God is with you in that world, okay? You stay in peace. I love you all, and we will see you on the flip.